Right, everyone, David here, part 2 of the Carbophobia series. So again, just bear in mind who I'm talking to with this. It's not for people looking for specifics, it's people looking for a basic understanding of what may be happening to them kind of years down the line that have a diet maybe consistent of mainly carbohydrates. So for example, like cereals, um, breads, wraps, sweets, processed foods, all that type of stuff for their breakfast, lunch and dinners and snacks, all that type of thing, alright? So again, you have your man here that's stuffing his face with it, let's say carbohydrates to make it easy. His body produces insulin to deal with those carbohydrates, all right? Now, look, you don't need to know the specifics of this, but basically, his body produces insulin to take those carbs out of his bloodstream and put them to use. So, like we said from part one, if they're not being put to use or if your other stores are full, the excess stores of carbohydrate, if you like, can spill over into fat stores. Okay, very basic understanding. So now, years down the line, we'll say he has a chocolate bar. Now, because his body is so overworked and downregulated in terms of his insulin production, now look, this where it might get a bit confusing, but don't worry about that. His body cannot deal with that effectively. So his body doesn't produce enough insulin, we'll say, to take the carbs out of his bloodstream. And because of that, his body needs to produce more insulin to actually get it out. And then what happens is you've elevated insulin in the blood. So what that actually does is it sends a signal to your brain to tell you you need to eat more carbs to bring those insulin levels down. Alright, so then you eat more carbs, you're back at square one, next thing all of a sudden you're just happening and happening and happening over again. That's why it's such a vicious cycle. And then after that you're talking weight gain, heart disease, type 2 diabetes and any kind of little problems there that are showing up in front of you. But again, you can, as you can see, everything comes back to health.